Hello, Austin. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you for having me on
Okay.
the program today.
Thank you for joining us today, Austin. Okay, this news is going viral right now that the U.S. government placed a sanction on some Nigerian politicians, such as Oshiomhole, El-Rufai, and others, from entering the United States of America. Okay, the question here is whether or not Nigerian politicians care about whatever the US is proposing for them or the ban placed on them. Do they care?
The
Like someone like Oshiomhole, for instance, who has a mansion with every all amenities in the mansion. It has a artificial lake on top of the mansion. So do you think he would even care of visiting the US? That is the big question here.
the truth is this: our Nigerian politicians cannot do without traveling out of the country, whether to a place like the US or the UK or even Canada, because with everything they've been able to steal, I will not say acquire for themselves, with everything they've been able to steal from themselves, they they still can't do anything about the health. You can't steal good health. Even if they could steal the money to acquire wealth, get buildings, get everything, get a lot of things for themselves, they cannot still steal good health from the people. So most of their daughter, you see, when the former chief of staff to the president, the late chief of staff, Abakari, before he passed on, they when he had the illness, they have to demand for his medical file from the UK hospital. That's to tell you that he does not even have any medical file with any doctor in Nigeria. First of all, that was one of the biggest insults ever done on us as a people, where somebody at the presidency does not even have a doctor in Nigeria. They have to demand for his medical file from the UK hospital before they could commence treatment on him. That's to tell you how our politicians live their life. Sincerely speaking, this is a way to go. This is one why somebody like me is totally in love with the Donald Trump leadership of the US, his presidency. Because if you settle down, look very well, you see that he's the only one who has been able to who has even showed any concern concerning about what is going on either in Nigeria or in some other African country. The rest are just keeping quiet because of what they gain on a daily basis from the continent. They are not really saying anything with the genocide and everything going on in northern Kaduna, with the total killing and everything. Our government encouraging even the Fulani, as they said, Fulani S-men, but the terrorists who are killing and with reckless abandon, going wrong on and spreading around the country, killing at will. And when they get arrested and when they got the government would release them and say they want to rehabilitate them and now and put them back into the military, the only place some of those things go on in the world, nobody is speaking against it. The only president who has been able to come out and is doing everything boldly, openly against it is Trump, President Trump. And I don't know why a lot of people are against him, why some Nigerians cannot even see what is going on even in their country, even we as a black, what is really going on. And sincerely speaking, I'm totally happy with what the President Trump has been able to do.
But,
And
but they
you're going to
can
say
also,
something.
yes, Austin, I don't want to cut you off. They will also sort for medical health in other countries in the world. If, for instance, the US place a sanction on them, especially the visa sanction, okay, they can sort for medical health in other countries. I wish other countries would follow the footstep of the US. That would be more effective in terms of restricting them from entering their various countries.
If
You
most
understand?
countries if most countries will follow suit,
Mm,
we the Nigerians citizens in the diaspora has a whole lot to do, because the truth is this. See, one thing I've come to discover is that most of the people back in Nigeria are not even aware about what is going on in their country. And even the few that are aware, they are so much attached to these politicians with what they give to them that they are no longer even concerned about doing anything. And the others are only wishing. Some are wishing, some are praying without taking steps. And a lot are just there because of the poor level of education. They don't even know too much. They don't even know too much, and they are not concerned about what is going on. If you look at it so far, majority of people that are really concerned about making it right or getting it right in Nigeria, they are over 90% of them are the people in the diaspora. And if we must do it, we can effect a change from the diaspora. Let us in the various countries, in the various nations where we live, begin to hold a protest to the embassies. And we begin to write a petition to the different embassies against some of these our politicians that we don't want them here. If we can begin to do protest upon protest, petitions upon petition, and there's a visa ban on all these people, they will have to sit at home. If they fail to feed our health sector or feed the nation, then they don't have anywhere to go. If until we take steps, until we start taking steps, maybe this won't work. For them sending their children to Canada, UK, and the US to school, let us, apart from even as we go around with the protest, let's take the photos of these men, paste it in the school gates of these their children, and tell them these are one of the looters in our country, the criminals we have in our country. They've stole so much, and they've decided to send their children to come and school in this university or in these schools. You begin to see how
Exactly.
some of these things will change. I'm telling you, these are the steps we
Yes,
need to start taking.
exactly. But
Because a lot of them, the reason that is the reason why they are not bothered about fixing our educational system or our health sector, because they can send their children abroad to school. They can travel whenever they want to travel to go for medical treatment, medical tourism, everything. Their wives and children, everything go out and everything. And they are telling you, like the former governor of those states that said he built a 5-star hotel. You saw him in China when they were asking, but you still go for medical. He wanted to deny until the interviewer asked him, but he was confused because these people do not really care. They don't really care, and we are the one to start taking the steps. Let's just say, for instance, for those in Canada, for those in US, for those in, as some of us decide to say yes, let us write a petition. As we are writing to the embassies, we are doing protests, taking the pictures of their fathers, their mothers, their uncle, and others. As we put in the name and their own picture too, and place it on the soundboard, and begin to call them criminals. Do you know some of these white people, how they behave? They'll start seeing them, start even pulling away from them. And when they start pulling, the shame alone will be enough for these children to even want to go back home. You understand? And if they can give their fathers or their mothers and all these people visa ban, you see that we need to start exposing them to do and taking steps. The major challenge I have is that we as the black race have one major challenge, whether in Nigeria, we have one major challenge. We wish for things to happen. We don't take steps for things to happen. And that's our major challenge. And that's why the politicians, we keep complaining, they don't do anything. We keep saying, we keep making one mistake over and over and over and over and over again, repeatedly. And nothing is changing. We keep wishing because why? We are not ready to take steps. We are not ready to pay the price for the required and desired change that we are all wishing for. Whatever thing you hope, whatever dream without taking steps will never come to reality. That's our major challenge. Because to fixing Nigeria now is more than just only an election. If you see every time, you see the mistake we made some years ago, even last year presidential election, they repeated it. You've seen a president who have not been able to do anything for the past four years. He came in 2020 and was saying, I'll be 2019, I was chatting about he's going for second term. This was a president that has lived almost his first 4 years for medical tourism in the UK. This is the same president who has totally kept quiet with the entire security force are his Fulani people, and the same Fulani people are killing. The Fulani has terrorists among them who are killing freely with the backing of the president. I say it with the backing of the president because none has been brought to book by the same presidency. When they arrest any, you tell them not to kill them. You rehabilitate them with our own money. When there are people graduating from school every day, you cannot even give them the money to set for them to even set themselves up in anything that they can do. But you prefer to use that our hard-earned money, our money to rehabilitate terrorists and now employ them in the army when they are graduates. People graduating from different universities every day, both the private university, both the federal government university, both the state university on a daily basis. Yet you are not giving any immediate employment. So many people have written, they are sitting for different exams to even be admitted to the army. Till date, none of them, they don't admit any, even to the police, with the different security, none. But yet our presidency decide to spend over how many billions to rehabilitate terrorists and put them into the army. And we
Man,
fold our hands. We see
they
voted the
didn't,
same president again.
they didn't approve the bill the other day. I don't think they
It's
approved
not
the
about
bill.
approving the bill.
So
It's not about approving the bill. It's not about approving the bill. They've been doing it. They have been doing it. They didn't even need to see before they could take it to the level of the National Assembly. That's even the biggest insult done on we as a people.
yes,
Where
to
somebody
even
could
bring the
sit
bill.
down, where
Yes.
somebody could sit down in a National Assembly and were even brought a bill to say they want to send terrorists to send them to get a foreign education. Is that
Oh,
not insult on us as a people? And yet we have people who sit down. We have civil society groups. We have the Nigerian the National Labour Congress. Nothing. We have the TUC. We have the so-called what's his name again? The Wole Soyinka and all that protested against Jonathan in 2012 for just the removal of subsidy. They all kept quiet and nothing is being, and they are not doing anything. And yet somebody brought such a matter to the National Assembly in a country where somebody who steal somebody who is hungry, who go to just steal from a market woman, come on 5,000 naira to eat because he's hungry,
yes.
will be arrested and be locked up and will be in prison for years. And they brought a bill to send terrorists to get
To,
foreign education.
like,
That's an
yes.
insult. And you
Big
not
insult.
tell me, this same government that was thinking of passing such a bill to discuss such a bill, they don't totally know what is going on in the country, and yet nobody is being arrested. The people that they are
Big
killing,
insult.
you are telling them they can't defend themselves. When anybody come out and speak against the killing, you begin to attack the person. When anybody tell the people to defend themselves, you think of how to arrest the person and all that. And you still tell me today as a Nigerian that you don't know what is going on in Nigeria, that what this government is doing, that this government is the main people sponsoring this thing. If it was what things are done well, such a senator that brought even such an issue to the house, we even be stoned. We even be arrested and investigated. Such a senator should be arrested if it was where things were done well. Such a senator should be arrested and it should be questioned. That why are you now advocating for terrorists, not for the hungry people in the streets, not for the students who don't have jobs, not for the high level of unemployment in our country. Not you are not advocating for government to create jobs, but you are advocating for government to set aside our money to give foreign education to terrorists. You see how dumb a lot of these people we elect into political office, how a lot of them are. They don't really care about the people. I've been saying it. These people do not really care about the people. What they care about is just themselves, to steal for themselves, and to steal for their children. That's the only thing they care about. They don't care about any other person. And if we must get the required change that we want, these people are people that we are supposed to start writing petition against in the various country where we live, protest against them, and for them to put, just like the U.S. government just doing, to put a visa ban on them. And I'll tell you, a lot of these things will begin to change when they see that yes, a lot of us are waking up. A lot of these things will begin to change, because the truth is this: you don't wish for change, you don't pray for things to change. You don't wish for things to change. Even the Bible said, faith without work is dead. Even God Himself, He didn't just wait and give a word. He came, paid the price to redeem the world. There's a price that must pay, and the people that and the people, it is the people themselves that needs this freedom that should work, that we also pay the price. You understand? But the issue is, are we really ready to pay the price? Some of us are just only wishing, some of us are just only sitting, some of us are just only praying, some of us are just only talking. That's why when you see some of them who come to the next thing, they will give them some appointment. The next thing you see, they are off. They don't talk again. And that's the reason why we have a government in our country who prefer to empower talks, because they are afraid of those talks more than you and I, who they know that yes, we are in our same mind, that we don't try to create problem in the country. But they know these talks, a lot of them are just there, they can create trouble and can do it. That's why they buy them over, put them in their camp. Have you not seen that? Let me use Lagos State as a case study. With the way Lagos State is, with everything, you've seen that it has become a state of talks, where talks are, others are the ones that do things, where they just empower them, give them money and do something. Or even in our states, where a political thug who has never worked anywhere in all his life, with no education at all, and cannot even make a complete statement, celebrated that is not a billionaire under the former administration of Oshiomhole, a political thug who has never worked he has never worked anywhere in his entire life apart from collecting revenue. Is that the way to go? When we are graduating from all our universities on a daily basis, and nothing is being done. You see
So,
that we have more of politicians, or a government in our country who has decided to empower talks, who has decided to empower newsers more than graduates. More than That's why you see in our state, the state where you and I can come from. For the first time, we are having a governor who believes in law and order, a governor who believes in building the economy, a governor who believes in building institutions. They decided to gang up against him, to
yeah.
make sure they force him out of power. Because why? A lot of them do not have a life outside of politics. And I keep asking myself on a daily basis, why do we keep making the same mistake of voting people who do not have a life outside of politics into political positions? This thing is a very big problem for all of us, because when they get there, because they've never managed anything in their entire life, because they've never worked to make money before, set up any business, they can only think of stealing, because they don't know what it takes to work for money. They can spend money anywhere, buy unnecessary things, because they've never sweat before to make money. Now they never control their own wealth, manage their own wealth. You want them to manage excess wealth of a whole state, to
A
manage
whole
the
state,
treasury of a whole
even a
state.
whole, even a whole
You
country.
understand? Or even a whole country, or a whole local government, or a whole ward, as the case may be. Then you now expect those people who has never been productive in their own life to now be productive with the resources of of over 4 million, or close to about 200 million people. Is that it? I don't. Sometimes I keep asking myself, how do we think as a people?
Austin, Austin, let's quickly look at the list of the Nigerian politicians that were banned from entering the United States of America. Okay, the former governor of Edo State and ex-national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Oshiomhole, is among top Nigerians, okay, slammed with a visa ban by the United States government on Monday. Kano State Governor Abdullahi Ganduje and Kogi Governor Yahaya Bello are also among those affected by the latest U.S. sanction, it was gathered. Okay. Governor Nasiru, okay, El-Rufai, on the other hand, had his own visa ban extended. So, which means El-Rufai is already under the watch of the United States for a long time. They have banned him from entering the country, so they extended the ban. Therefore, he won't be able to visit the US. But I keep asking that one question. If whether or not these Nigerian politicians care about going to the US, do they have any attachment with the US? Can they do away without the US? Yes, of course, because other countries will allow them to get in. Not until every other country in the world follow the footstep of the United States. For me, I believe that it's still the same thing, because they can go shop for anything in any other country. They can even go to Dubai. They can go to the United Kingdom, for instance. The UK is still open for them. Anything they can get in the US is there in the UK as well. So we are expecting other countries in the world to follow the footsteps of the US and place sanction on these Nigerian politicians, so that corruption will be minimized in Nigeria. Otherwise, oh, we are wasting our time. And their children, the door is also open for their children to migrate to any country in the world. That's another good thing for them. So big advantage for politicians. When you see election period like this, you never see their children campaigning in the streets. Where are their children? You can see their children. I've never seen the children of any politician in Nigeria campaigning during election period. But they use people, they use talks, they use the children of the vulnerable, the less privileges, to rig election. They expose them to danger during election period, arm them with ammunitions. So not until
the
sanction is placed on them in every country in the world and their children too, is just a waste of time. US, they can do away with US, honestly. They can do away with
the
US. They can substitute other country for US, like the UK is a very good country. Canada is another good country. Just look at it, Austin.
the truth is this. This is why I'm so much in love with President Trump, whether anybody likes it
Mm.
or not. My love for Trump is something else. If you see with everything going that has been going on in Nigeria for over many years, the only president who has been able to come out to speak against it, or even say anything at all against it, is President Trump. The European Union, just look around the world, they've all totally just been blind, totally the dumb concerning the whole thing. None has been able to come out to condemn anything about what has been going on in Nigeria. You know why? Because they all know what they benefit and everything. They know that they are the one that put Nigeria into this mess. The likes of Obama-led administration and the former UK Prime Minister and all of them, because they know what they benefit from a lot of these African countries, especially in Nigeria. That's why you see even with the genocide that's been going on in Cameroon for over how many years, none of them has been able to come out to do anything about it. With everything that went on in Mali for over many years, they didn't come out to do anything about it. None of them has been able to come out to do anything about it. With everything that went on in Mali for over many years, they didn't come out to do anything about it.
I think we have to end this show like this, guys. We have discussed about this topic